Hi, hello, and welcome to the worst books that I read in the year of our Lord, 2023. I originally made a kind of top 10 sort of situation for the worst and the best of 2023, but I'm gonna do it a little bit different. And I'm not the first person to do it this way, and I probably won't be the last. But what we're going to be doing today is going over every single book that I read in each month of 2023 and picking a worst book of that month. All in all, we're gonna have 11, and then since it's still December, I'm going to be predicting my worst book of December of 2023. My only rule for myself is that I'm not going to be choosing any DNFs, so I have to have actually finished the book in order for it to be a worst book of the year. One thing that I've noticed this year is that I've had two very specific and distinct moods, and they've been very, like, blocky. I don't know how else to explain it, but like January through July was mostly romance, and then July through now is all just like sci-fi and fantasy, so it's gonna be very interesting for me to have to choose a worst of each month. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this. In January, I read House of Earth and Blood by Sarah J. Maas, Flawless by Elsie Silver, and Lover Unbound by J.R. Ward. For this one, I'm 100% gonna have to go with House of Earth and Blood by Sarah J. Maas. I don't like this series, and I'm tired of pretending that I do. The Crescent City series is my least favorite of her work, and I just really don't like it. I don't connect with the characters, I don't like the love interest, I don't like the romance. I don't know what it is about that series, and I've tried and tried and tried. This was my second read through of the books that are out in that series, and I just don't like it. I don't like it, and I'm tired of pretending like I do. So the worst book of January was House of Earth and Blood by Sarah J. Maas. February, I read Heartless, again by Elsie Silver, Children of Fallen Gods by Carissa Broadbent, Alien Tyrant by Ursa Dax, Alien Enemy by Ursa Dax, and Alien Orphan by Ursa Dax. Obviously, I went through a little bit of a alien romance moment there. So for the worst, I don't know, I kind of just want to group all of the alien ones into one worst because I don't remember any of them. I don't remember enough about these books to differentiate which ones are the worst and which ones are liked better. I don't know. So we're just gonna group all of the alien books and put them at the bottom. I'm so sorry, Ursa Dax. I'm sure they were fine. Okay, so in March, I read Mother of Death and Dawn by Carissa Broadbent, All You Need Is Kill by Ryosuke Takeuchi, horrible at pronunciation, Consider Me by Becca Mack, Praise by Sarah Kate, Mile High by Liz Tom Ford, Astrid Parker Doesn't Fail by Ashley Herring Blake, Lifeblood by Amara Ray, and House of Sky and Breath by Sarah J. Maas. This one is an easy one, and it's Lifeblood by Amara Ray. I'm sorry to my Amara Ray fans. It just didn't work for me. The hero of the story was so primal, and I didn't like it. I just didn't like this guy. This guy was so animalistic to the point where he was almost just like gross and rude and weird, and I just didn't like him. I didn't like him at all. April, I read Heartsick by Chelsea Kane, The Black Lily by Juliet Cross, Irresistible by Melanie Harlow, Resting Witch Face, again by Juliet Cross, Night Film by Marisha Pessel, Undeniable by Melanie Harlow, Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldry, The Witch Slayer by Opal Rain, Insatiable by Melanie Harlow, and Malice by John Gwynne. This is where it starts to change. So for this, it's definitely gonna have to be a Melanie Harlow book, and I think it's gonna have to be Undeniable. The Cloverleaf Farm series is just not for me. I really don't like it. I don't like the heroes. I don't like the heroines. I really just think that they don't need to be together at all. The only one that I've liked of that series was the first one, and the rest of them were just like, they just kept going downhill from there. Yeah, no, I hated it. I hated that book. I hated that book. Small Town Romance, not for me. In May was massive. Okay. In May, I read Sweat and Soap Volume 2 by Kanetsu Yamada, Bloodied Hands by Adelaide Forrest, Yakuza Lover Volume 1 by Nozomi Mino, The Sweetest Oblivion by Danielle Laurie, Yakuza Lover Volume 2 by Nozomi Mino, Brutal Prince by Sophie Lark, Ruthless Creatures by J.T. Geisinger, Fated Throne by Caroline Peckham and Suzanne Valenti, Grim and Barrett by Juliet Cross, Dreaming of You by Lisa Kleypes, Desperate Measures by Katie Robert, Powerless by Elsie Silver, All Systems Red by Martha Wells, Lover Enshrined by J.R. Ward, Artificial Condition by Martha Wells, The Duchess Deal by Tessa Dare, and Vinland Saga Omnibus 1 by Makoto Yukimura. Oh my god, that's a lot to choose from. There's none of these that I have a real dislike for. They're all either ones that I liked or I was just okay with. I'm probably gonna have to say the Yakuza Lover ones. I read those for the Mafia Romance Readathon in May, and they were fine. They were okay. I think there's better romance manga out there for you to choose from than Yakuza Lover. It's very unbelievable. It's very fast-paced. It's very bonkers. There's not a lot of build up to it. It was just like, okay, we're doing this now? All right, fine. But yeah, Yakuza Lover, those were probably my worst books. And like I said, I didn't really have any books in this month that I had a strong dislike for, so that was strange. So in the month of June, I read Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros, Lover Avenged by J.R. Ward, Rogue Protocol by Martha Wells, The Right Move by Liz Tom Ford, The House in the Cerulean Sea by T.J. Klune, Him by Serena Bowen, I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jeanette McCurdy, Forever Your Rogue by Aaron Langston, A Hunger Like No Other by Cressley Cole, Real by Kennedy Ryan, King Cobra by Naomi Lucas, and Howl's Moving Castle by Diana Wynne Jones. This one is 100% King Cobra. I didn't like that one. I don't know. With alien and monster and just any types of romance, I think there's a fine line between dominant in an attractive way and dominant in a very icky way. And these kind of Naga Bride, it's a part of the Naga Bride series. It's an alien romance series. They're just like dominant in a gross way that just kind of weirds me out. Plus there's a lot of liquids. There was a lot of liquids involved and I am just not a liquids girly. There's only so many times that you can squirt and shove and squelch before I'm just like, ew. Ew, that's gross. It's just gross. I don't like liquids. Okay, what month are we in? I don't remember. July, maybe? So in July, I read Forgivable Sins by Adelaide Forrest, Remain Nameless by Hey Jude 19, these are fan fictions, Until the Ink Runs Dry by Akio Mjolnir, In Silence and Submission by Gillian Eliza, Fowler by John Gwynne, Exit Strategy by Martha Wells, and One Piece Volumes 1 through 4 by, let's just say by Oda, Aiichiro. I don't know how to pronounce his first name. The worst book of this month was Forgivable Sins by Adelaide Forrest. I really liked Bloodied Hands. It was bonkers. It was a little bit crazy. The hero in that book was very manipulative and very demanding, and I got that, but I also got a really weird nickname. The heroine of the story, kind of ironically, at one point calls the hero, which I can't remember his name, but she calls him my Italian stallion one time as a joke. The Italian stallion comments, start moving to the more bedroom activities, and I was just like, she was like unironically calling him my stallion in the bedroom, and I was just like, oh no. And the thing is that the book wasn't bad before that. It just, like, I don't know. It was just a little bit equine for me. I would prefer my horses to stay in the barn, if you know what I mean. In the month of August, I read Ruin by John Gwynne, Every Heart a Doorway by Shauna Maguire, Down Among the Sticks and Bones by Shauna Maguire, Beneath the Sugar Sky by Shauna Maguire, One Piece Volumes 5, 6, 7, and 8 by Oda, Aragon by Christopher Paolini, Eldest by Christopher Paolini, In an Absent Dream by Shauna Maguire, Come Tumbling Down by Shauna Maguire, Animal Farm by George Orwell, Wrath by John Gwynne, and Vinland Saga of Omnibus 2 by Makoto Yukimura. Where did all of this reading come from? I was reading a lot in these spring and summer months. Where did that go? Where did those vibes go? I don't know. Oh, the worst one of this month has to be Beneath the Sugar Sky by Shauna Maguire. This series is just not for me. It's the Wayward Children series, but Beneath the Sugar Sky was just bad. I didn't like it. It was not fun for me. We're in this like bubblegum, cotton candy nonsense world, and there were just plot conveniences out the ass, and the main character that we're following is this girl named Cora, and Cora, I don't like Cora. Cora is the type of character that thinks that everybody hates her because she's fat, and that is not the case whatsoever. Everybody's just like, what are you talking about, Cora? And she just is constantly bringing up her weight, and it was just like gross to me. I just found her so annoying. So yeah, no, I hated that book. In September, I read Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies by Heather Fawcett, Red Rising by Pierce Brown. Love that. Love that for me. One Piece Volume 9 by Oda, Brizinger by Christopher Paolini, Vinland Saga Omnibus 3 by Makoto Yukimura, Golden Sun, and Morning Star by Pierce Brown. We knocked all of those out of the park, and my worst book of September was Brizinger by Christopher Paolini. And I don't necessarily think that this is a bad book. I just think that this book is a massive side quest. It's a massive side quest, and I was not into the side quest. I was not wanting to grind and level up. I was wanting to get back to the main storyline, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. In October, I read The Graveyard Book by Neil Gaiman, One Piece Volumes 10, 11, and 12 by Oda, Iron Gold by Pierce Brown, My Best Friend's Exorcism by Grady Hendrix, Inheritance by Christopher Paolini, Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb, Vinland Saga Omnibus 4 by Makoto Yukimura, The Fork, the Witch, and the Worm by Christopher Paolini, and Misery by Stephen King. Now, this one's gonna be difficult because I liked all of these. I think I'm gonna have to put One Piece as the worst of the month of October, which is very strange because I like One Piece. It's a series that I like, but I don't love. I'm kind of neutral about it at this point. It's starting to get to the point where I really like it. But I think I'm gonna have to put One Piece as my worst of October because before volume 12, I was kind of hitting a little bit of a slog with the series. So we have 10 and 11 that I read this month. So we're gonna say 10 and 11 were my worst books. In November, I read TikTok by Dean Koontz, Heart-Shaped Box by Joe Hill, Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros, Before I Let Go by Kennedy Ryan, Vinland Saga Omnibus 5 by Makoto Yukimura, Fortunately the Milk by Neil Gaiman, Royal Assassin by Robin Hobb, and One Piece Volume 14 by Oda. If you've seen any of my videos recently, you'll know that Iron Flame 100% is my worst book of November, probably my worst book of the year. I hated that book. Well, no, it's probably not my worst book of the year, probably my most disappointing book of the year, let's say that, but it was just really bad. I feel like Rebecca Yarros and her team and her publishing company were really trying to push out this book so that she could keep riding the high of Fourth Wing, and because of that, the content, the quality, and everything about the book just fucking suffered. It was just bad. It was just bad, and I'm sorry if you love it. I hated it. So, now on to my predictions for December of 2023. Now, I am not anticipating reading a ton this month. I am really anticipating reading 4 books, and those are Assassin's Quest by Robin Hobb, Dark Age by Pierce Brown, Vinland Saga Omnibus 6, and Murtagh by Christopher Paolini. Now, I've already started reading 2 of these books, and I think one of the ones that I've started reading is going to be my worst book of the month based on the way that it's going, and that is Assassin's Quest by Robin Hobb, which I fucking hate to say. I hate to say that, but I am so flabbergasted. I am so bamboozled. I am so perplexed by the way that this book has gone, and I just am not happy about it. I'm like 100 pages into it, and I'm still trying to come to terms with the fact that this is where we're going, but that is my prediction for the worst book of December 2023. So those were my worst books of 2023. I'll be doing the best books of 2023 in the same sort of fashion, so keep an eye out for that if you're interested. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to join the NotSoAverageJo army. We are currently shitting on everybody's favorite books, but I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your week, and I will see you next time.